Right now, the city of Madison approves millions of dollars for a new community center in a South Side neighborhood.
And another drowning this afternoon in the Wisconsin River. Police giving us an update on how it happened.
Plus, a Richland Center woman says an armed man showed up at their vigil for the victims in the recent mass shootings.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Severe weather is moving through the northern part of the viewing area, even prompting a tornado warning earlier in Fond du Lac County.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has been tracking the storms. He has our first alert forecast. Joins us from the Weather Center. Gary.
Eric, right now all the warnings have been allowed to expire, but we're still watching a line of thunderstorms that extends from just northwest of Madison, actually just around Mazomanie and Cross Plains through DeForest and then through the southern and central portions of Dodge County. This storm moving toward the southeast at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. Strong storm cell just south of Beaver Dam will be heading over toward Kleiman by about 10, 11. And then the strong cell just around Prairie du Sac will be moving into the north central portion of Dane County around Middleton by about 10:21. Strong straight line winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Some frequent lightning and heavy downpours are a possibility with this. But notice, west and south of Madison, you may stay dry all night. So it's mainly just north and east of Madison for this line of thunderstorms. That's after high temperatures today topped out in the middle 80s across much of southern Wisconsin. La Crosse topped out at 91. Current temperatures are in the upper 70s in Madison. Notice how it's cooled off into the 60s to the north where the rain has moved through. The dew point temperature is still in the mid 60s, but those will drop. And by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s. Look for plenty of sunshine tomorrow with a high temperature of 78, so we'll see a drop in the temperature and humidity, but I'll keep an eye on the storms through the newscast.
All right, Gary, thank you. And for the latest forecast and weather information on the go, be sure to download our Channel 3000 First Alert weather app. It is free right now in your app store. Next at 10, a neighborhood center on the south side is celebrating a gift from the city of Madison.
Last night at council, alders approved $2 million as a gift to the Bridge Lake Point Winona Neighborhood Center. Amy Reed shows us what they hope to do with the money.
This neighborhood center seems to do it all. They have classes and clubs for adults, seniors, and kids from preschool to high school. But they're running all of this out of 2 old converted apartment complexes. With money from the city, they won't have too much longer.
Knitter, crocheter, I know you can talk about some good people.
About 3 times a week, Linda, Joanne, and Deb get to creating.
I'm a crafter. I like crafting. It doesn't matter what. That's what made me start coming here, is to have company to craft.
It's one of dozens of programs the neighborhood center offers, one of many that took a group of mostly strangers to friends.
It's really important, I think, for the community to have a place that's safe and comfortable, that offers all these services, that is a lifelong learning place.
But this space where these ladies knit and crochet is also a space for classes, meetings, a lot more than this converted apartment complex was designed for.
We manage and do the best. We continue to grow. We just outgrown this place for many years.
In the 20 years they've been here, they've managed to make the most of the space.
Our coordinators and staff all share this space. I have, I want to say, 8 to 10 youth staff, all sharing the space.
One building isn't even enough.
So welcome to the youth center.
This neighborhood center does a lot for adults and kids. Before it was here, the neighborhood had a reputation.
We've seen a huge change in the community. A lot of people didn't feel comfortable being out after hours. Now this is a vibrant neighborhood. People feel safe walking their dogs and just being out.
They hope with the $2 million from the city, they'll be able to do even more.
Keeps kids off the street. Keeps me off the street, too.
And Linda and friends are happy to help. They'd even be willing to part with their handcrafted hats to make it happen.
$2 million seems like a lot of money when you're trying to build a center that's big enough for all the kids and all the seniors and all the adults in the community. Probably need a lot more money.
So now the fundraising begins. The neighborhood center has a picnic coming up at the end of the month, and they kind of want to see how much that they can fundraise on their own before they commit to specifics on their plans for the new building.
Oh, that's so great to see. What a wonderful community. Amy, thank you.
Man lost his life today drowning in the Wisconsin River while visiting a park in Lake Delton with his family. The police department only identifying him as a 40-year-old man from rural Wisconsin Dells. They say he had limited swimming ability and was wading in a shallow area at Newport Park near a steep drop-off. That's when he went under. Rescue teams found him a few minutes later, but were unable to revive him. A Lyft driver accused of sexually assaulting a passenger will not be charged. The Dane County DA says there's not enough evidence to prosecute the man.
If new evidence surfaces, we can reconsider this for formal charges. And we honor the courage it takes victims to report these cases. We do so every single day as we apply the law to the new cases across our desks.
The district attorney says this is a legal analysis and does not speak to the credibility of the victim. The 24-year-old Lyft driver was arrested by Madison police early Friday morning. As for this case, it is considered closed for now.
A class action lawsuit has been filed on behalf of Wisconsin customers impacted by the Capital One data breach. The suit alleges Capital One violated the Wisconsin Consumer Act when it failed to protect the private information of people who applied for credit cards with the company. Capital One executives said the breach, which happened in March and April of last year, impacted 100 million applicants. Around 140,000 Social Security numbers and 80,000 bank account numbers were obtained by a hacker. Former Democratic gubernatorial candidate Josh Pade plans to challenge freshman Republican U.S. Representative Brian Stile in next year's election. Stile represents Southeast Wisconsin's 1st congressional district and is in the middle of his first term. Stile replaced former House Speaker Paul Ryan. The 39-year-old Pade is a Kenosha attorney who received less than 1% of the vote in the Democratic primary for governor last year.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, along with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the state of Mississippi, says they have completed the largest single state immigration enforcement in U.S. history. Agents rounded up 680 migrants during ICE raids in 6 cities across Mississippi this week. Several work sites were targeted. Last month, President Trump had threatened ICE raids in major cities throughout the country, but officials in Mississippi say this operation, which took 11 months of planning and more than 600 special agents, was not directed by the president.
The arrests today were the result of a year-long criminal investigation, and the arrests and warrants that were executed today are just another step in that investigation.
Officials say the migrants are being processed. Some will go to an ICE facility in Louisiana, while others may be given an alternative to detention for humanitarian reasons.
President Trump visited El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio today after mass shootings left 31 dead and dozens wounded over the weekend. Protesters awaited President Trump in both cities. Hillary Lane has the latest.
President Trump visited El Paso as the city grieves and protesters demand action against gun violence. At one point in the day, the crowd clashed with a Trump supporter. Some residents said the president, who has complained of a Hispanic invasion, should stay away from this largely Mexican-American community.
All of these horrible things that he's been saying about Mexicans, Hispanics, that we're not like that.
The president stopped at a hospital to meet with medical staff and survivors of the attack at the shopping mall behind me. He also met with first responders and law enforcement personnel.
We had an amazing day. As you know, we left Ohio, and the love, the respect for the office of the presidency, I wish you could have been in there to see it.
Earlier, the president stopped in Dayton, Ohio, where a gunman killed 9 people in the city's entertainment district early Sunday. He and the First Lady also visited the hospital where many of the victims were treated. Press cameras were denied access.
It was low-keyed and was focused on the victims and the first responders.
Protesters near the hospital set up a baby Trump balloon.
His hateful rhetoric and then him having, I can't even believe he said hate has no home here.
On Friday, the White House is scheduled to host an event with tech companies searching for ways to curb violent behavior online. Hillary Lane, CBS News, El Paso, Texas.
The epidemic of mass shootings has Americans on edge. A scare last night at what is commonly known as the crossroads of the world. Hundreds of people in Times Square panicked and started running for their lives after mistaking the sounds of a motorcycle backfiring for gunshots. Police say the stampede caused nearly 24 injuries. Several people were taken to the hospital.
A Richland Center woman is asking gun owners to think twice before exercising their open carry rights after a frightening situation at a vigil last night. Autumn Lent, her 8-year-old son, and about 15 others had gathered outside the county courthouse for a candlelight vigil honoring the victims of recent mass shootings. That's when she says a man stopped in his vehicle and started yelling, then came back 5 minutes later with a gun.
What went through my mind in those first 10 seconds was, this is probably what the people in the last 2 weeks in the mass shootings experienced, someone walking towards them with a rifle. They didn't know what was going to happen.
Police arrived quickly and were able to talk with both parties, determining the man was not a threat and letting everyone know it was within his constitutional rights to be there with a gun. Lent says the vigil wasn't an anti-gun protest, and she doesn't want to infringe on the Second Amendment, but hopes people will take a more compassionate approach in the future.
Still ahead tonight at 10, storms roll through the northern part of the viewing area. Gary will have his extended forecast.
Plus, the FDA today opening an investigation into possible side effects of vaping that has now led to more than 120 hospitalizations. Welcome back. A possible hidden danger related to vaping.
The FDA says it is investigating 127 reports of seizures, fainting, or tremors possibly related to e-cigarettes. The agency announced the investigation today. The reported cases happened between 2010 and 2019 with first-time and experienced e-cigarette users. The agency has not determined whether vaping is directly linked to the cases. In Wisconsin, health officials are investigating more than a dozen cases of people being hospitalized with lung issues.
You have until midnight to submit comments or feedback to the Department of Ag Trade and Consumer Protection over a new proposal about allowing homeless dogs into the state. Dane County Humane Society, along with other shelters statewide, are coming out against this idea. The new proposal would require dogs to be tested for 2 diseases, brucellosis and heartworm, before being allowed into the state. Dane County Humane Society says the testing could eliminate the state's ability to save thousands of dogs. 2 UW-Madison police canines are getting some added protection thanks to a local pet store and community donations. Mound's Pet Food Warehouse raised nearly $20,000 to pay for 2 custom-fitted bulletproof vests. Throughout the month of July, Mounds asked customers to round up their purchases or buy a plush canine toy for the Vest-A-Dog fundraiser. Each vest has a price tag between $850 to $1,200. Along with the vest, the community donations will pay for 80 canine first aid kits.
Samsung is following Apple's lead with its newest phone. The tech company unveiled the Galaxy Note 10 today, its newest phone in the Note lineup. The phone comes in 2 sizes, has an upgraded stylus, but is now missing its headphone jack. When Apple removed the headphone jack from its iPhone in 2016, Samsung mocked the decision in ads. Well, Samsung says the 6.3-inch Galaxy Note phone will be sold for $949. Its 6.8-inch version Galaxy Note Plus is priced at $1,999. FedEx and Amazon are parting ways. Starting next month, it will no longer deliver Amazon orders to customers. The delivery company announced the change today. The move comes after FedEx dumped Amazon from its air cargo services in June. According to FedEx, Amazon accounted for just 1.3% of its revenue last year.
Taco Bell taking over a popular hotel in Palm Springs this weekend from August 8th through the 12th. The V Hotel will morph into The Bell, offering exclusive meals and merchandise for Taco Bell super fans. Folks are so interested in the event that the hotel's 70 rooms sold out in just 2 minutes.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now, and you've been tracking a lot of weather this evening.
Yeah, it kind of blew up right after 7 o'clock in a line that basically went just north of the Dells over toward the Fox Valley. But right now, the line of storms extends from just to the north of Madison to the east. So basically west of Dane County, the storms aren't even going to affect you. But you can see some strong cells just north and west of Madison, another strong cell just northwest of Marshall, and then some other strong cells in the southeastern portion of Dodge County, east of Watertown. The cell here in Madison will be tracking off toward the south and east, reaching much of the city of Madison by around 10:30. Strong winds to about 40 to 45 miles per hour are possible with these storms. That seems to be the main threat. The hail threat has lessened quite a bit. And as you can see, west and south of Madison, you're probably not going to see much, if any, in the way of rain. Mainly eastern Dane County to Jefferson, maybe Rock County will see the thunderstorms. Everybody else will probably stay rain-free. And as we look at future radar over the next 2 hours, that takes the storms into southeastern Wisconsin and the severe weather threat out of our viewing area by about midnight. As far as severe weather reports are concerned, most of those have been in central Wisconsin into the Fox Valley. There was a report of about 40 to 50 mile per hour winds in Arkdale from the line of storms in northern portions of Adams County. Other reports of hail up to ping pong ball sized just to the north of Berlin, and then also into the Fox Valley, some funnel cloud reports as well as some wind damage reports. Here's the live view from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the northeast, and you can see those flashes of lightning in the distance as the storms get a little closer to Madison. As we check out the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, this is looking toward the southeast, so it's kind of away from the storms. As we check out the almanac for today, our high temperature reached 84 after starting out at 62. Right now we're at 78 degrees with thunderstorms approaching the airport. Winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. Dew point temperature at 66, but those winds will shift around to the northwest after the storms pass. That will bring in cooler and drier air for tomorrow. High temperatures hit 91 in La Crosse, 84 in Madison, 87 in Milwaukee. But look at the current temperatures. They're already in the upper 50s across parts of North Dakota and northern Minnesota, mid 60s over northwestern Wisconsin, and in the rain-cooled area north of Madison, temperatures are already in the 60s. These thunderstorms are basically following along the jet stream pattern, a big dome of heat to our south and west, and then the jet stream starting to sag southward into the northern portion of the United States from southern Canada. That's going to allow cooler air to start filtering in behind this front. Temperatures still pretty mild along the front, but behind the front, notice International Falls. They've dropped to 56 degrees. We're going to be looking at overnight low temperatures in the mid-50s starting tomorrow night. You can see the dew point temperature still mid-60s here, but upper 50s in the Twin Cities and Upper 40-degree dew points in northern Minnesota, where temperatures will probably fall into the 40s over the next couple of nights. On future track, the thunderstorms move on out, skies clear out overnight, and then we look for plenty of sunshine for tomorrow and for Friday as well. That northwesterly wind flow keeping high temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Nighttime low temperatures, like I say, will be in the mid-50s, and it looks like we'll stay dry into most, if not all, of the weekend. Maybe just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm Saturday night into Sunday. Overnight, look for the thunderstorms north and east of Madison to end. Then it'll turn mostly clear, low temperature dropping to 62. For tomorrow, expect skies to be mostly sunny. It'll be cooler and less humid with a high temperature of 78 degrees. Future track shows the storms moving out by midnight. Skies clear out overnight, low temperatures in the low 60s. Lots of sunshine for tomorrow. Northwesterly winds, high temperature at 78. Tomorrow night, those clear skies allow temperatures to drop into the middle 50s, and then high temperatures back in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees on Friday. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures low 80s for the weekend, but with low humidity, it'll feel pretty nice. Slight chance of a thunderstorm Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. A little better chance on Tuesday, but much of next week looking nice as well. High temperatures upper 70s to low 80s.
Not bad.
So we'll keep an eye on the storms for the next couple of hours.
All right, Gary, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Brewers second baseman Keston Hiura continues to power through his rookie season. Highlights from Pittsburgh next in sports.
Well, no Lorenzo Cain in the starting lineup tonight. He fouled the ball off of his left leg last night, but luckily for him and the Brewers, X-rays came back negative. He did pinch hit for Junior Guerra, though. Christian Yelich also not in tonight for the second game in a row. He's got some back issues, and Craig Counsell hoping to have him back by Friday. Now, the Brewers going for the sweep. Keston Hiura, this is your summer, man. A 2-run home run to start off strong. 2-0 Brewers in the first, one of his 2 home runs in the game. He also drove in 3. Fast forward to the third, Eric Thames slips one through right field. Hiura and Yasmani Grandal crossing home plate. 5-0 Brewers. The Brew Crew with a sweep, 8-3 the final. They have the day off tomorrow, and they'll host the Rangers on Friday night. Cubs in an earlier game against Oakland at Wrigley Field. We pick it up in the 4th inning. Bases loaded for Ian Happ. It is out of there. That is a grand slam, and the Cubs take the lead. Later, Kyle Schwarber, his 26th home run of the year. It's a good one. 3-run shot, and the Cubs win 10-1. They lead the Brewers by 3 games in the division. Well, preseason football usually isn't the most exciting of games, but it's a good experience for the guys that are new to the team or new to the league. The rookies especially got a little taste of that on Friday night last Friday, so they'll definitely get the majority of the action tomorrow night against the Texans. Aaron Rodgers doesn't really think he'll get too much time on the field this preseason, but hopes to at least get a few snaps, and especially on the road.
I'm probably going to play, I would assume, in the second and third games. Definitely want to get out there in Winnipeg, for our fans up there. That'd be a lot of fun. But, it's about getting your work done in the training camp practices and, trying to stay healthy and have some efficient drives in the preseason.
Well, the clock is ticking for the University of Wisconsin because former Badger wide receiver Quintez Cephas is asking to come back to school and play football again. Lawyers for Cephas petitioned for the cause yesterday, and they want an answer by tomorrow. But life goes on for the rest of the team despite all the attention. They're churning through these practices ahead of the season opener on August 30th. And for his fellow receiving corps, if he comes back to play at Camp Randall, that's cool. But even if he plays football elsewhere, that's cool too.
He was like one of my brothers, so even if he was to come here or wherever he wanted to go, I'm gonna stand behind him. I just want what's the best for him. Just want him to have the opportunity to be able to play football again, no matter if it's here or wherever he decides to go.
Now, last Friday, Cephas was found not guilty on counts of 2nd and 3rd degree sexual assault. It will be up to UW-Madison Chancellor Rebecca Blank and the school's Title IX coordinator to decide if Cephas can indeed come back to school. We'll be right back.
Boy, that's some bumpy weather up in the Fox Valley region tonight. Hopefully better for the Packer game tomorrow night.
Yeah, actually, it should be great for the Packer game for tomorrow night. And you can see on high-resolution Doppler radar the storms mainly from right around the city of Madison to the east, tracking off toward the southeast. Strongest storm right now in the southwestern portion of Dodge County, heading toward Lake Mills by about 10:41 and eventually toward Jefferson by just before 11 o'clock. But you can see west and south of Madison, you're not even going to see any rain. So mainly eastern Dane County, Jefferson County, and Rock County, north and east of Janesville, will see the storms. Temperatures in the lower 70s will cool off into the 60s once the rain moves through. Dew points are still high, but those will come down as well. Here's forecast for tomorrow. Highs upper 70s, be around 80 for the rest of the week.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.